Hello everyone, this is John for PokerVIP.com, and in this video we're going to do part 3 of grinding the twisters over on Coral. If you've not seen the first two parts, the reason I put this up is it's a great way to make a ton of money, and it's a great way to like bink big like you would in a tournament. So a twister is basically a three-handed turbo sit and go. Probably the most similar thing you know of is the PokerStars spin and go. Works exactly the same. You buy in, you spin a wheel, and you can win up to 1,000 times your buy-in. So yeah, lots of money can be made really quick. Also, you're going to get 30% rake back, a 200% deposit bonus, our 75k monthly rake race, 30k worth of races over on Coral, plus a ton of other promos that pop up. First two parts were €1 and €2, and this is going to be €5 just to show the difference. The races on Coral are split. The 30k ones, there's a micro, a mid, and a high, which is separated into the twos, and twos. And yeah, we're just going to basically have a look at the €5 ones now, and I still want to show you how soft they are. If anyone saw the €2 one, we didn't run very well. We lost a few, but the hands we ran into, the spots we got into, really proved just how bad these players are. And at the €5 level, it stays the same. One thing as well, if you click the link in create an account right now, once you deposit 5, you're going to get 20 free in Twister tokens. So you can even free roll 4 €5 ones, or 10 €2 or 21 euros, whatever you want to do, which I suggest you get onto right now. But for now, we're going to hit the register button, get rid of the mini games thing, make the table bigger, and hopefully spin some jackpots here. So this is the first €5 one, and we're going to be playing for 10 euros. Games run 24/7. I mean, there is a lot of traffic on here. This guy's playing on his phone. We can see this from this little indicator next to his name, and the fact it says it when you hover over it. I'm actually going to check the Queen 10. We could certainly go ahead and raise it up, but it kind of seems unnecessary at this stage. I'm going to lead here, a third of the pot with a straight flush draw in a way. We've got lots of good turn cards and lots of good runner runners. So essentially, I thought lots of people could fold, or I could bet into any 8, 9, Queen, King, or Heart. When it comes to Ace of Diamonds, I'm happy to just check and give up and try and hit the river for free. Obviously, the King gives us the nuts. Queen might still be good. But once he checks around and we miss, then we can just go ahead and fold. I'd imagine this guy limped with a hand like, King Jack, maybe Ace 5, something like that. Which obviously beats our Queen 10, so we can just go ahead and fold that one. All of these will be 15 to 20 minutes long. It's a mini series. And basically, I just think on the run up to the new year, if you guys really just sat down and grinded the hell out of these for November and December, you could be going into the new year just like with this really refreshed, poker state of mind and a lot of money. I feel like cash is becoming obviously just really difficult. Really hard to climb the levels. But on these, like I say, even these doubles, it's playing for €10 a time, play, 100 or 200 of these a day. And, you're literally playing for thousands. And then sometimes you're going to spin, €50, €100, €1,000, whatever it might be. And, you're going to be able to add that onto your, bottom line. Tend to say I'm going to call facing a min lead. We could also just fold here because of the deuce. The fact that our kicker is so bad. And we've got a player behind. But I think when he just leads the minimum, he's going to have some King Jacks, Jack Nines, and some airs. This turn card's obviously terrible because those hands that he does lead with pretty much get there on the turn. But once he checks, I'm going to check and basically just hope to get to showdown. Very interesting river card here, the Queen. I think we might be chopping. He might have like a hand like 9, 10. But I definitely can't get value. I'm not bothered about really getting him off the choppers yet. I'm just going to check and hope I win. And yeah, he did just have a worse 10. He played his hand fine. I think with made hands, I prefer to just check call. You could check or flop, check or turn, and make a decision on river. But the lead is absolutely fine. When we've got this Cloud J who seems to be limping a lot on the button. I folded here. Note the blinds up to 15-30. So 14.5 big blinds currently. Can't really be doing too many 2BB raises with Jack 6 offs. So yeah, I mean, I haven't really seen it, so it's like so consistent with this, like limp, check kind of thing. It's not something I've seen that much of. But basic strategy, standard knowledge should help us have an edge on these guys and win some money. So yeah, we're going to play about 3 or 4 of these throughout each session. Time to check. I'm not going to stab at this board. You know, people can definitely have a heap of hands that can call me down 3-way, so it's just a check fold for me. I mean, really hoping I hit like a queen or 4, of course. But yeah, we're just done with this hand. Might win sometimes with queen 4 high if it checks around, but run into 4s there. Let's see what Nunes has. It's 10-6 suited, so that's a fine small blind limp from Nunes. I'm going to try him in raise here. And we get a very quick fold there by Cloud. One thing to note is people on smartphones do not play as profitably as people who are not on smartphones. Pretty much as simple as that. Jack Queen, I'm just going to ship my 14 bigs in. A hand like King Queen, I would min raise to kind of like induce a jam. Same with like Ace Queen and Ace Jack, but Jack Queen just isn't strong enough to do that, so I prefer to just ship. Another limp. This time Nunes folds, but we're just going to check and hope to hit the flop basically. When we do not, and when it's a terrible board like this, again, we're just going to have to check fold down. There's not really that much hope at stabbing in pots like this until we really know a lot about Cloud. Gonna go ahead and fold this river. Well, we're lasting a lot longer than we were in the previous ones. Blinds up to 2040. I've got a monster. I'm just going to min raise here and try and get Cloud to jam and be very happy just calling with ace 10 suited. We could also just open jam. I don't think there'd be anything wrong with that. But I really don't actually mind like whatever happens here, like calls, folds, goes all in. It's all pretty neutral. King Jack. I think I'm just going to min raise again. I mean, these guys are just folding a lot. If I get jammed on, I will call. King Jack's going to play absolutely fine versus that jam in range. Interesting flop here. I mean, it's a good flop in a way because we should have a lot more aces than Nunes does because Nunes didn't go all in, which we'd expect her to do so. Get check raised all in here, which is very odd. Repping an ace. I think Nunes is going to have more flush draws and aces and just not that many 10s and deuces, so I think I actually make the call here. Well, actually has a 10, which is really surprising. I just never expect a 10 to check jam there. Honestly, I understand the stack to pot ratio side of it, but it does kind of seem like a bit of a spew on both of our parts, although, you know, for me, I just kind of feel like that's going to be some jack queens, some flush draws, which obviously I dominate, so, and I had the king of spades as a blocker. Really good spot here to double up anyway. Just need to avoid a6 on the river, which we do. Don't really love calling off with king jack high, but on those boards in that spot, I think it's absolutely fine. I'm going to make us some money. Blinds up to 30-60, going to fold my 3-6 suited and really hope I pick up a hand on the button, because obviously now I'm going to be able to take both blinds down if they fold, or pick a hand up in the big blind and just go with any two really. Sadly, the button did not work out, 10-5 offsuit, so we're just going to hope to get something next hand, but we will be calling any two because we'll only have 1.5 big blinds. A limp and a raise there, an all-in, should I say, from Nunes. It's a very quick fold by Cloud. And luckily we do wake up with a really strong hand here. Really strong because of the situation. Got her absolutely crushed as well, dead to a king, or a 10 or a spade. Yeah, we were never going to hold that one, sadly. But I think everything was pretty much self-explanatory there. And with the king jack, it might raise some eyebrows, so I'd be very interested to hear some, comments in the section below. But I think the logic's fine. I really hate that jam with the 10-7. She doesn't have that much fold equity. So, and yeah, like I say, I mean, ace 3, ace 4, ace 5, I mean, I guess, but I probably just 3-bet jam that myself. So I was only worried about like small aces, but I would just get those in pre-flop, so I think it was an okay call. I'm gonna go ahead and register another one anyway. Like you see, just start straight away. Let's spin something good. Or just another double. Start off with a very strong hand here. I'm just going to go ahead and re-raise and hope to get all the money in. I mean, 25 big blinds, ace king, three-handed, winner takes all tournament. It is literally one of the best spots you'll ever find to get all of your chips in pre-flop. So that is what we're going to try and do. But we face a fold there. The kid tanked quite heavy. I'd be very interested to know if that was like a thinking tank or just like a bit of a Hollywood tank. I mean, I don't see any need for the Hollywood at the moment, so I wonder what that decision was. Would be very interested to know. Bet here with 40 into 130 on an a7 deuce king 6, and wow, a7 calls. I think that call's a bit light, but I mean, I did just call someone all in with king high, so who am I to talk? I guess you just thought getting 5 to 1 in this spot with flop second pair is too good to fold. Possibly a reg there in Tequila Jellic. Huge raise here by 21. Very interesting spot with threes. It's kind of like one of those sizings where you don't expect him to fold. So I'm actually going to fold this hand. I think I'm going to be dominated a lot. You know, I only really want to jam there if I think pre-flop they're going to fold a lot and I can pick up the dead money. Going to just go ahead and raise again with the ace queen and just not fold. And yeah, with the threes, we're just never going to be strong enough. I think if we have sixes, we just always go with it. And fives is definitely worth like considering. But threes, you know, it's just never going to play well when we think we're getting called 100% of the time. I just can't imagine 21, you know, folding after making it 140. So that's something to, you know, obviously, you know, take into consideration when making these decisions. Queen 4, we see a limp on the button of fold in the small blind, and I check. Gonna check here again. Really just hoping to hit a queen or a 4. Queen high might be good. I mean, if 21 bets, that means he's value betting a king, an ace, or better. I think I'm going to fold this time, but it's actually a lot closer than it looks. A6, I'm just going to go ahead and 3-bet jam. I think the kid is opening a lot of buttons. I think I've got a strong hand. I think the amount of big blinds I've got is perfect for this, so yeah, let's go for it. Sadly run into 8s, but we have 30%. We just need an ace or a 6 on the river. Make 2 pair, but not the right 2 pair. And sadly, we go down to 10 chips. Luckily, we wake up with a chip, a chair, and ace queen. Wow. 21 Korea folded there. I mean, that's just crazy. And it looks like we're going to quadruple Sanko. I mean, we 6x our stack, I think, there, so pretty good. Now we've got 10-3 and a different coloured chip. And this is pretty cool. We get a heads up if Tequila folds. Okay, so they run into a hand that absolutely crushes us, but we can still hit a 10. Or a 6 to chop. Not this time. So I think that one was pretty straightforward and pretty standard. The a6 in the situation seemed very fine to just go with it. All in here in a fold, but we are just going to go ahead and register for another one. And wait for one more player to sit, and as you can see, again, just instant, and they're all different players. I mean, these play pools are absolutely massive. Absolutely huge. Spinning the jackpot. If only, eh, guys, if only we hit that monster 5,000 euro jackpot. I think maybe for part 4 we get a different coach to do it and see if he runs a bit better with the jackpots. Be so funny if like we get a different coach to do it and he just instantly binks. King 3, I opened. I'm going to c-bet and just have a one and done spot unless the turn or river comes like a queen, king, or ace, but certainly on this turn it's just going to be a check, give up. We're going to go ahead and fold. Jack deuce in the muck. Ten six suited is a very easy defend. Lots of straights, flushes, and all that good stuff can be made. And it's good to note here that this guy's pot bet it. Really not too sure what his pot bet range is there, but I mean, we're going to be folding our 10-6 suited all day long. Going to fold 6-4 off out of position. See a lead here of 2/3 pot by black diamond. Flush completes on the turn. 2-10 in the middle. Pretty large bet again. There's just literally no hand I'm jamming if I'm Hitorio. I just call and then just call any river. Like, there's just literally no hand in the world I'm jamming with in position versus some guy who's just randomly leading on this board. You know, if I've got a flush, if I've got a 3, if I've got a full house, you know, there's just nothing I'm ever doing that with. I mean, if you've got 2 red aces, you call and pretty much call on any non-club river. Or even on some clubs you can go ahead and call, but I would probably have just been happy to click the call button a couple more times there if I was him. Or her. Gonna go ahead and defend here, but note we only have 10 big blinds behind. Face a bet here. I think I'm gonna have to call. I think I'm gonna have to call an all in if jammed on here. Think black diamond is gonna basically just jam a lot of heart X. It's like king 10 with a heart or whatever, so I think I'm just gonna call. Nice, even worse, just dead to a king. Pretty terrible jam there. And a very easy call and a very easy win for me. Jack 5's going to be a fold. Never tick check slash fold. You never want them to know you're going to auto fold. Because say he limbed here and I snap checked, he would then know that I had like a junk hand and just be able to crush me on a lot of flops. So the good shot here, really hoping we see the river for free. If we don't, we're going to fold. I'm going to go ahead and just bet the minimum and just hope to get a crying call here by Hattori. Which we do. And he just had a queen. Any bigger, you know, you're just really not going to get any action, so you're just betting and praying that you get some action. King 6, really large bet here. I would often defend, but this is pretty large sizing. Still think, yeah, it is actually a defend. I think if we just start folding king highs, because he slightly ups his bet sizing, we can definitely get exploited, so going for the call. 8-9 offsuit, gonna min raise. Get min raised here. I mean, we've seen this be junk, we've seen this be nutted, but with a hand like 8-9, it really doesn't matter. We just call and hope to smash the flop, which we kind of do. I mean, we're just going to have to go with this, really. Once he bets like 130, 140, there's not going to be much in there. So there's 285, we've got 560 back, we've got a straight draw. He might fold some hands like ace-5 suiteds that are not clubs. We have the 9 of clubs at the backup, so just ship it in, hope he folds, but if he calls, we still have the immediate queen and 7 outs, unless he has ace-king. But yeah, he's just going to fold a lot there. Really backs up everything I said about min raises not just being nutted hands. I think we just got a bit unfortunate to run into them in the previous episodes. I'm going to fold the junk hand that is 7-3 off. 8's here, a monster. Really just wanted to get all that in pre-flop, but he folds. 5-7, we go for a limp. Flop 2 pair, which is pretty cool when you limp. We're just going to go ahead and bet like 60 here. 2/3 pot. And sadly get no action. Obviously you can just have a lot to call with there, so we should just be betting. It's not really a board to slow play bottom 2 on. Very passive it seems. Get a limp with Jack 7. Kev get the old min raise, going to call again. Again, just a monster, just going to be jamming on any bet he makes. I expect to just have the best hand a lot here. If not, then hopefully the 9 will get us there. or another Jackpot 7. And damn, we actually just run into the Uber nuts here. But we run so good that we pair the board and pair the board again. So at least we finish on a high, winning that last one. So that was part 3. Part 4 is coming up, and I will see you there. This was John for PokerVIP.com.